Thanks for checking out Chamber Web TV. This is Cambridge Votes 2014, a conversation with the candidates for the October 27th municipal election. I'm Brian Butcher, I'm Vice President here at the Chamber, and today it's my pleasure to welcome Shawn Newton, candidate in Ward 4. Shawn, thank you for coming.
Appreciate your time.
Okay, so it's official now.
Yep.
The election is underway. You'll be pounding in the signs and knocking on the doors and talking to people. You having fun?
Yes, it's been a really good experience for me. Being able to get out, meet people, and hear exactly what other issues are in and around the area.
Yeah, good. I hope you continue to have a good time with it. You got a couple of months, or I guess a month and a half now to go.
Yeah, you know what? In all honesty, the experience has been an extremely good one. Just with the short amount of time that I've been in it, meeting all the different people, hearing about them and their lives. It's what got me into wanting to do this in the first place. So
okay, well, that leads into it's a big decision. So why are you running?
Mainly to help people. The issues that initially got me in were actually with regards to a school board concern, but given the fact that there are many other people out there that would have similar issues, I thought there would be something from a city level that could be done to sort of help bring awareness to the issues that the average person has. I do believe that over the last little while, the average voice seems to be being lost, and the average issues, the people that every single day go in and have to worry about where that next bag of milk is going to come from. Yeah. I believe that they're kind of being lost in the system.
Well, and a municipal level is certainly where the average person can have direct contact, and hopefully their opinion can make a difference.
Yes.
Much more than the other levels of government. So what do you see as the single biggest issue facing Cambridge and in fact in all municipalities in Ontario right now?
In all honesty, I believe the good paying jobs. Coming from background that I've come from, which is manufacturing, I was out of work for 1.5 years at one point, and not knowing where that next bag of milk was. I have that understanding that, if you go out, a lot of people out there right now are having to work 2-3 jobs in order to just get by. We don't necessarily have the amount of good paying jobs within the area, within the region for that matter, to help sustain that. I do agree with keeping an emphasis on small local businesses, but at the same time we do need to provide for the future of Cambridge. We're looking at, within the next 5 years, they say, 185,000 people living in Cambridge. Where are they going to work? If we don't bring the jobs in, then we're going to really need to look at that point, investing also in our transit.
Well, Chris, you will be a councillor for the entire city, but also for your Ward 4. So what's the single biggest issue that you see in Ward 4?
Actually, it's our infrastructure, our roads, the safety of our roads, as well as the construction that's going on. I believe the planning of it needs to be addressed. For example, I actually, just before this meeting, came from a meeting with some people that are on Dixon Street in the downtown core, and meeting with them and finding out as to how much their businesses are suffering. Just with a couple businesses alone, their revenues are down almost $100,000, and that's just 2 of the businesses. So looking at the way we go about it, the support that we give our local businesses, I believe definitely needs to be addressed.
Yeah, it's a real challenge. You can't move forward with anything if you're not prepared to do the infrastructure work and the road rebuilding and building new roads and all of that. But at the same time, it can be crippling for those people, particularly businesses.
Yes.
That are along that stretch.
Yes,
it's just not something that gets done overnight.
No, it definitely needs to be planned out, as well as including them. They have been saying that a lot of times they're not being heard. Personally, I think that if we're going to do this and we're going to look at bringing in a construction that's going to affect them, you know, have your weekly meetings with them, have some sort of meeting with them set up so that their issues can be brought to the table and you can look at that point addressing them, whether it's on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, whatever, so that you try to eliminate how much of an impact it does have on them.
Yeah, try to mitigate the circumstances. Okay, so honestly, the Chamber is always looking for candidates that have some big, bold ideas. Do you have any big, bold ideas that you would like to talk about? Put forward?
I think as far as a big, bold idea, it would be going back to the idea of, and everybody says it, fiscal responsibility. If you look at it as running the city the same way you run your family household, you just have a larger family at this point. You want to do things in a manner that doesn't affect that family aspect of it, but you still need to take care of all of the regular household maintenance, the putting your roofs on, repairing your roads, that sort of thing. But at the same time, you don't draw away from the idea that, you know, we can't put the same burden on the taxpayers as what we always do. It's, let's fix this, let's do that, and we'll just up taxes. We need to look at a way of balancing off, budgeting a little bit better so that, okay, what can we do now, what can we put off, and what can we completely postpone? We need to look more at that so that the lower to middle class families aren't the ones that are constantly suffering over this.
Yeah, it always seems easier to increase taxes than it is to increase my income.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a challenge for sure. So you may or may not know that the Chamber was opposed to the LRT in the region.
Yep.
Mostly because we felt that Cambridge was going to get the opportunity to pay for it, but not going to get the opportunity to have it in Cambridge. But that battle has been waged, and the LRT is on its way. So it occurs to us that perhaps there's something that Cambridge can do with a little bit of out-of-the-box thinking to accelerate LRT coming into Cambridge, if in fact that's the right thing. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on LRT.
As far as the LRT goes, I definitely agree that we need some sort of better system between us and Kitchener-Waterloo area. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that Cambridge has been caused to pay for it and we're not necessarily getting the services. As far as sort of out-of-the-box thinking, one of the things that has been tabled over the last little while is the GO service and pushing to try to get the GO service here. My belief is that it would be a little bit easier for us to sort of push to get the LRT service to us if we already were a central area for GO. So we're putting a lot of emphasis on the LRT right now, trying to, you know, backpedal, see what we could do with regards to that. If we took that focus and sort of focused it more towards getting our GO service here, sort of trying to alleviate some of that sort of congestion of us going up to Kitchener to grab a GO bus right now, that might sort of allow the region to bring that LRT service to us.
Tie everything together.
Exactly, because if we do have that service, the bus system that they're talking about back and forth, shuttling us back and forth up to the new LRT, isn't necessarily going to be the case. We're not going to be able to, you know, hold that GO train or whatever to allow us to get there because we've got this bus service.
If we can get it. I mean, Kitchener's had GO for a while now. One train into Toronto in the morning and one back out at night. Mm-hmm. And the Premier has committed to two-way all-day Go service to Kitchener now.
Mm-hmm.
However, Cambridge is a substantially less costly option for
Right.
Go. We've been fighting that battle for decades, and so far there's not a Go train coming into Cambridge. How do you feel about that?
I definitely like the idea of the Go service here. It is something that allows the connection of cities. What we need to do is we need to, I believe, work better with the different levels of government. I do feel as if everything with regards to federal, provincial, municipal, we've gotten away from the being able to work well with one another. My personal belief is that if you can't work with that next level, then we're not going to be able to move forward as Cambridge. We need to be able to work with everybody that's involved.
Yeah. Well, where do you see Cambridge being in 25 years?
If things don't change, if the system doesn't change itself, I can see a lot of the small businesses in the area either leaving or closing down. I do see a lot more of a city side, but we're getting away from that small community feel that I really enjoyed coming to when I moved to Cambridge 10 years ago.
When you say if the system doesn't change, if things don't change, what things do you mean?
If the spending, if we don't curb our spending, if we don't invest more in our local economies, bringing in businesses, bringing in transit, keeping Cambridge whole, then we're going to fail, and we're going to fail the citizens of Cambridge.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're just about done here, but you know that this election is the first time that Cambridge will have the opportunity for online and telephone voting.
Mm-hmm.
It is 2014, and maybe it's time we embrace the technology, and I know there are some concerns for people, but it promises to change the landscape a bit. People from October 11th to 25th can go online or by telephone with their voter card and cast their ballot. I think that has the potential to seriously increase voter participation,
Mm-hmm.
I hope. Knowledgeable participation would be great, but I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on online and telephone voting.
I think it's probably long overdue, actually. I do realize that some people have some sort of reservations with regards to it. Me personally, I don't. I believe that it's going to allow us to engage younger voters. Typically, up until now, the younger voters haven't really responded the same way as what some of the older citizens have, and it'll sort of engage them in the issues. It'll bring their issues to light, and it'll really change the landscape of what it's going to be like to run an election.
Yeah, certainly promises to do that. It'll be interesting to see how people receive it, and I think you're right. It'll be largely the younger people, and hopefully it'll get conversations going ahead of time, so they're talking about voting and
Exactly.
talking about the candidates and what matters to them. So, okay, Shawn, do you want to take a minute and address your constituents directly, or do you have something else you'd like to say in wrapping up?
Sure, thank you very much. So, as I said, I'm running in Ward 4, and I believe that it's time for the average citizen to have their say. I work in the manufacturing industry. I know what it's like, given the fact that I was out of work for a year and a half, to know how much those $5, how much it is for somebody to either donate or whatever. I'm not asking for any contributions with regards to my campaign. Everything that I'm doing is out of my own pocket, and I don't feel that it's right to ask for something that affects so much of what your life is. All I ask is that you pass on the message that I am voting, or that I am running, and hope that you see that I am the type of person that is going to be fiscally responsible. The type of person that's going to ask the questions as to why are we doing something when we could be utilizing that money to help offset taxes, local businesses, that sort of thing. So I thank you for your time, and I hope that everybody gets out there and votes on October 27th.
And you have many opportunities to do that this time. On October 27th at the polls, you can mark the old paper ballot as usual, or you can go online or by telephone between October 11th and 25th and mark your ballot that way. All you need is your voter's card. For more information, you can go to cambridge.ca/vote2014. Just remember, this is your opportunity to have your voice. Don't forget to vote. Thanks. Thank you very much, Shawn.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.